guys. Sorry I missed you if you're an A day or if you're B day and I'm not here. Here's everything you need to know. So let's go and get started so you don't miss a thing. So a couple heads ups just so you're aware. Remember Friday, and if you're watching that a B day in class, that's today. Reading journal number 5 is due, and that's due for everybody. So please make sure you get reading journal number 5 in. That also includes all 5 reading journals. Remember, 20 points for each reading journal comes to 100 points for a major summative, and that is worth 30% of your grade for interims. That's next week, just on next Tuesday. So heads up there. In addition, this coming Monday, this is really important for students at home. We're going to do a DL book swap at Blue Ridge between 1 and 3 p.m. You go ahead and bring your nonfiction book. I'll exchange you out for a speculative fiction book. So if you're a DL kiddo, I'm hoping to see you and expecting to see you at Blue Ridge between 1 and 3 p.m. in the car rider line right underneath the the all covered overhang over by the gym, right by the basketball court, right there. You bring me your nonfiction book. You're like, here's my nonfiction book, Mr. Chris. I'm like, oh, okay, cool, thank you so much. And here is your speculative fiction book. And there you are. So please make sure you're here, DL kiddos, between 1 and 3 p.m. on Monday. That's May 10th. The only other thing is just to keep in mind, for those of you who went ahead and you wanted to go ahead and do a reading review test recovery, please make sure you get that in by the 12th. That is next Wednesday. So if you want to earn back up to 100%, you already emailed me about it. I already sent it out to you. That should be waiting for you in school. So go ahead and do that. A couple quick heads up. So where have we been? Where are we going? So last class we went ahead and we did our speculative fiction book talks. Went ahead and talked about our Newsela to get ready for speculative fiction. We also went ahead and we did our finished book club breakout rooms to talk about your books, and we worked on read journal number 5, which means today we're going to do a read aloud of Harrison Bergeron. It's amazing. I'm so excited. We're going to go ahead and we're going to knock off your Newsela that you've got to do to go and get ready for speculative fiction, and we're going to give you time to go ahead and make sure that you finish and submit all of your reading journal. So without any further ado, let's get started. Speculative fiction, that's going to be the genre we're looking at, and this genre is actually, it's an umbrella genre, so it actually includes science fiction, fantasy, horror, and dystopian. And actually, you guys already know a lot about this umbrella genre. So one of the things I'm going to ask you guys to do, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go and put this down here. I'm going to put a link down here in the description of the video. What do you already expect to know or to just kind of come across when you're reading science fiction or fantasy, or if you're reading horror, or if you're reading dystopian? So if you go ahead, down here in the description, go ahead and open up that first link. You're going to see something that looks just like this. Tell me what's one thing you expect from fantasy, one thing you expect from science fiction, what's one thing you expect from horror, or one thing you expect from dystopian. Do you have to do all 4? No, just do 2. Go ahead and just choose whichever 2 columns you want to go and tell me something that you already just come to expect from this genre. So actually, let's go ahead and do this. Let's go ahead and pause the video. You guys go and click on that first link down here in the description. Go and pause the video right now so you guys can go ahead and answer 2 of these columns. What are things that you have come to expect in 2 of these genres? And I hope you go ahead and scroll through some of those, because you're going to notice some things where you might be like, ah, yeah, I didn't know that kid brought that up. I kind of thought about that. So take a look at what some of your classmates wrote. One thing I kind of want to remind you about, though, and this is important, is that speculative fiction books often are set in a world with important differences from our own, of which, of course, you guys just went ahead and you pointed out right here in our Padlet. You made those differences very, very clear. So one thing I want to just kind of remind you of is that as a reader, you have an obligation to go ahead and consider how the world is different, but more importantly, how that world impacts the characters. If you don't stop to think about how that world impacts the characters, you're going to miss half of the whole story. That's something that we really need to start doing. Okay, so this is where I bring you to what we're going to look at today. Authors will often drop you right in the middle of a story, especially in speculative fiction, and you have to try and figure things out. So you're going to do that work right now with an amazing short story called Harrison Bergeron by Kurt Vonnegut. So if you go into the description of this video, if you go down below, it's the second link down there. It's a Nearpod self-paced video where you're going to go ahead and listen to the read aloud of Harrison Bergeron by Kurt Vonnegut. And it's going to pause every couple minutes or so with a question to answer. Just kind of make sure you're kind of thinking while you're watching. And it's an incredible story. I can't wait for your mind to be blown. So go ahead, that second link down there in the description video, go ahead and click on that second link in your pod video. When it comes to the pauses with your answers, go ahead and give us an answer, and then we'll come right back here. So I'm going to actually go ahead and pause so you can knock that off. Second link, description, your pod video. love that story. It's so, it's mind-blowing. It's a great entry right into speculative fiction. And I do just want to go ahead and point out something too. If you want to go ahead and see a short film adaptation, a couple years ago they came out with a short film adaptation. It's only 24 minutes called 2081. I'm going to go ahead and drop that link if you want to. This one's optional, purely optional. So I feel like you have to do this. But if you want to go and see the short film adaptation, I'm going to drop it down here. It's going to be the third link down here in the description for the 2081 video. So go ahead and watch that, and you've got that there to see. For now, though, let's just kind of make sure that you guys are ready when it comes to Newsela. So, of course, if you guys go into LCPS Go and if you go to Newsela, make sure that you go to your Assignments tab. So, in your Assignments tab, when you get there, keep in mind you're going to have to read one article from the most recent assignment called Gearing Up for Speculative Fiction. Go ahead, and if you want to read more, you can. They're really cool. But you only have to take one quiz. So go ahead and read one article, one quiz, your articles. You've got 6 of them to choose from. So right now, let's go ahead and pause, you guys. Go ahead and go into, I'll leave you a link down here, the 4th link down here in the description. Go to LCPS Go, then go to Newsela. And if you click on assignments, it's your 4th tab over, you're going to see an assignment of Gearing Up for Speculative Fiction. Read one of those articles, take one of those quizzes, and then come on right back here. So we'll pause so you can get that done. Your mind is peaked. It's ready for next week. You get your speculative fiction book. So let's go ahead and make sure we close out literary nonfiction. Good, right? So let's take a look. Remember, you've got 5 reading journals. Themes and central ideas, expecting complexity, schema, narrative and informative schema, descriptive passages and how we analyze them for tone and theme, recognizing authors' positions and biases and opinions, and of course, your final thoughts on your nonfiction book. This is where it's important, and this is where what we want to do right now is make sure you go ahead, finish and submit reading journal number 5. That's enormous. Finish and submit any missing reading journals. And then remember, if you've signed up to go ahead and finish the reading review recovery assignment, please complete and submit that. Remember, interims are next week. And if you remember, right now in the gradebook, I haven't counted any of your reading journals to actually count in favor or against your grade right now. They're just counting as blank. But this weekend, that's changing. So any missing reading journals will catapult your grade. Any outstanding reading journals will come together towards that 100-point cumulative nonfiction master grade, and that will raise your grade. So if you got any missing, so don't go and forget. Make sure you go and knock off your Newsela. Go ahead and knock off any missing reading journals. And of course, I'm going to go ahead and move this. So as a little reminder, if you want to go and watch that video will be down there here in the description of the video. So as always, if you need any questions, if you have any concerns, go and shoot me an email. Otherwise, good luck. You got this.